So it's interesting to hear your journey unfolding and how you became more and more comfortable with entering into this other realm, which is the realm of life as we know it, but most people are unaware of it.
That's what I tell people. We're all connected to it.
Right. So what do you tell people to help them get a little more comfortable with how they can kind of start to open and widen their perception that there's way more here than what we're actually seeing in the five senses that allow us to, get our reality in check?
Well, the first thing I go back to, there's an article that I wrote called The Game of Life, where...
is that on your website?
It is on my website. It's on. There's like 10 pages with a plethora of information. But it's about what happens, how we prepare for a lifetime and come into a lifetime, have your lifetime, and then go back. Okay? I call it the game of life. And this is the way people in spirit have always shown it to me. When you get ready for a lifetime, you say, okay, I want to be the mother. What do you want to be? I want to be the next door neighbor. I want to be the husband, the grandfather. Everybody picks a role. I want to be the college roommate, whatever. And that's why everything is interconnected like a tapestry. Everything in the world is connected because you're connected to somebody who's connected to somebody else who's connected to somebody else, okay? Mm-hmm. So we're all in this together. Mm-hmm. And then you wait till it's your time to come down into life. You come down into this lifetime. You do things that you wanted to do, things that you wanted to try. And you just go through this whole series of events in your lifetime. And then when it's over and you go back to the other side, back to heaven, you go, hey, wasn't that awesome? That was a great game. What did you learn? I learned this. What did you do? I do, And then you talk about it, and that's what this life is. And it kind of makes it easier to understand, less frightening, more uplifting when you think that this isn't the end-all, be-all. We're down here to have an adventure. Why don't we make it a great adventure, And that's what I tell people. You're connected to everybody. It's an adventure, and that helps people to kind of think about it and understand and open themselves up more. Like, this isn't who I am. I'm not a human. I'm a spirit having a human adventure, Mm-hmm. And that's what it is. Mm-hmm. And so people start to open up more that way. And from there, then they ask specific questions. Well, how do I know? And then I teach them about instinct. And instinct is a big thing. Everybody has my gift. Okay, everyone does. It's not just mine. Everyone has it. Mm-hmm. It's just how you use it. Like anything, the more you practice, the stronger it will get. Mm-hmm. And that's how we get people acclimated from there.
So how would you help someone to get started in practicing? What would be the first thing you would?
Well, the two things that I tell people is meditation and practice. Okay, with meditation, my spirit guides always tell me any type of meditation, even if it's 5 minutes in traffic, is like a therapy session with them. Like, people pay hundreds of dollars to go to therapy every week.
When the cars stop, not while you're driving.
Exactly. Thank you for clarifying that. But people pay all this money to go to therapy, and meditation is like therapy with your guides. They connect with your energy. You connect with their energy. Mm-hmm. It makes it easier for you to identify the energy around you and within you. Mm-hmm. And if you need work or adjustments, they kind of help you out with that, And then practice. I always tell people, and this is what I did in the beginning too. Just, how do you know the difference between hot and cold unless you test to see what hot and cold is? You know what I mean? I tell people, this is the fun part. The Apprentice, American Idol, all those fun shows that people watch where at the end of the show, someone is eliminated or something's different. So at the beginning of the show, look at everyone who's left standing, write down who you think will be eliminated, and then you'll know in an hour. So I tell people, practice on things where you can get instantaneous feedback.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because what happens is, after a while, or I tell them, you're going into the bank, which drive-through should I go to? Which one is shorter, left or right? Left or right? Everybody does that. They would try to figure out which one it is. And after a while, you'll start to learn, okay, this is what it felt like when I got it right, and this is what it felt like when I didn't get it right.
When I got an answer that didn't give me the right answer.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what I tell people. Just practice. And from there, you'll start to identify, the way I see energy, the way I feel energy is like, what green looks like. I know what green looks like. Mm-hmm. And energy is like that too. I know if a man is standing next to me and I just feel it, I know it's a man. Just like what green is, I know that this is a man. And that's how, because I've learned to determine the energy, to identify what energy is around me. Like I'll identify, this is, a grandfather or a great aunt or something standing next to you in spirit, because they don't always tell me. Sometimes I just know when they appear because I can identify the energy. It's just practice. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. So really, it's taking some small steps.
Exactly.
And as you're taking those small steps, basically you're kind of being given gifts, and you're basically being told, okay, you just graduated first grade, so now we're going to graduate you to second grade, and maybe try you with something a little bit more difficult and see if you can exercise this muscle until it gets stronger.
Exactly.
And then we can go someplace else to do something different.
Sure, and you can do that with the cards that a lot of people use the cards with the colors on it and stuff, and the numbers, and they hold them up, and the people try to, you see it on TV and on shows all the time. Right. I don't remember the name of it, but yeah. And you can go into that. I mean, there's all different ways that you can practice your intuition, but you can practice it in real life.
So have you had any, unusual surprises that have come, about from the work you're doing? Because, my sense is that, there's a show on TV now that I watch on occasion, Medium.
Oh, I love that show.
Alison Dubois.
I love that show.
Here she's working with the police and helping to, solve mysteries that can't be solved easily. To me, in some respects, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, and I don't dream about it. I have dreams sometimes that are precognitive or that give me insight, but she dreams about it all the time, apparently. That's amazing to me, but I like the show because it does. It to me, that's part of my life. She has 3 kids, I have 3 kids. You know what I mean? It's like we're just like regular people who just do something different, But yeah, it's the same. It's a great show.
And do you feel that you're, because I know that you've had some experiences where you've been asked to do certain things and help people with investigations and things like that. What have you, is there anything you could talk about that?
Not really. I was just asked recently for some insight on a missing persons case. And I gave them all of the information that came to me. With that type of thing, with police investigations, I don't know. It's not my favorite thing to do because as an empath, I feel all the emotions that go along with it. So, as a matter of fact, there's a little boy who went missing at a flea market down south. It was on the news yesterday or last night. And they showed me kind of a vision, almost like a video in my head of what happened to him. I'm not going to elaborate here.
Yeah.
But that's a type of thing I don't really like to see. So the police work, I'll give them information if they ask me, but it's not my favorite thing to do because there's so much emotion to it. And there's free will by everyone, too, so things can change. And it's not the best feeling in the world.
So there's painful feelings that can be associated with that. You can see some pretty vicious...
you see things that you don't like that are not scrupulous. You feel people's grief, people's pain, people's fear. And, in that type of circumstance, I send white light to people, to help them out. I send angels to people.
Have you gotten any sense from your guides as to what specifically you're here to do?
They show me a little, but I get that it's going to change. They keep showing me. It's like they let me see so much, and then I feel like after that it's like something else and something else. But basically, it's to erase fear. People have fear, to help people overcome negativity. They're teaching me a lot of energy work right now as far as helping people to know that they have the power within them to get rid of the fear, to get rid of the victimization that people feel, just to get rid of the negativity in their lives and in themselves.
Is there any small kind of hint or offering that you could make to people that are listening to this program now that would help them to start to take the first step in doing that, eliminating fear, eliminating negativity?
I'm definitely. Well, what people need to understand is that thoughts are things. Thoughts are energy. There's energy in everything around you. And like magnets, like energy will attract like energy. So if you have negative energy around you or negative thoughts around you, you can either choose to continue with that and let more negativity come in. Like people think, oh, I'm having a bad day, and the next day they have a bad day, and they feel like the weight of the world is on their shoulders, and they don't feel like they have any power to combat it. But if they turn around and look at it a different way, like, oh, you know what? Somebody hurled some negativity at me, but that doesn't mean I have to accept it. I can bounce it off and throw light that way and bring in positive energy. And I tell people there's a breathing technique, a deep breathing technique that I teach people where, have you ever seen the movie The Green Mile?
Yeah.
Okay. The guy,
Tom
John
Hanks.
Yeah. The healer in the movie, John Coffey, the big guy.
Right.
Every time he would heal someone, he would have to he would take on their negativity, and he would have to dispel it. Okay. He'd breathe it out like bugs and crud would come out of his mouth.
Right.
What I do is I tell people, label the negativity in your head, in your body, with a color. Brown, black, crud, gray, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then what you want to do is you want to breathe in positive energy, breathe in your favorite color, okay, and have that, watch that, visualize it go into your body, into your being, and when you breathe out the crud, just like in the movie The Green Mile, and that's the negativity being released from your being. So you're whenever you release something, you have to bring in something positive. So that's why I say breathe out the bad, the negativity, breathe in the positive. And if you just spend a few minutes doing that, whenever you feel upset or you feel like it's an uphill battle, that will help tremendously.